Captain Ronan Foster squinted at the unusual reading on his scanner, pushing aside his lukewarm coffee. 19 years of salvage operations in the Cygnus Expanse had taught him to trust his instincts, and right now, those instincts were screaming that this wasn't an ordinary piece of space debris. Artemis, enhanced scan on grid sector 9, he ordered his ship's AI. Enhanced scan complete, Captain. Detecting unknown craft, approximately 4 meters in length. Material composition unidentified. Single life sign present, showing irregular biological patterns. Ronan stroked his graying beard, calculating the risks. Unidentified craft often meant trouble, but salvage rights to unknown technology could set him up for months, maybe years. More importantly, someone was alive in there. Plot intercept course, Artemis. Let's see what we've found. The Phoenix, Ronan's retrofitted salvage vessel, adjusted trajectory smoothly. As they approached, the mystery craft came into view, sleek, iridescent, and unlike any design he'd encountered before. It resembled a teardrop frozen in mid-fall, its surface shimmering with patterns that seemed to pulse like a heartbeat. That's not Federation, Vindari, or even Krell design, Ronan muttered. Artemis, any matches in the database? Negative, Captain. Structure contains elements similar to Lyrellian craftsmanship, but no confirmed records exist of Lyrellian vessels. Lyrellians are classified as an isolationist species with minimal contact history. Ronan's eyebrows shot up. Lyrellians were practically mythological, a highly advanced species that had retreated behind the Cerulean Nebula centuries ago, breaking off almost all contact with the rest of the galaxy. Encountering one of their vessels was about as likely as finding a dinosaur in his kitchen. Initiate retrieval protocol, he ordered. And prep the medical bay. Our visitor might need attention. The Phoenix's magnetic tethers extended, gently capturing the alien craft and drawing it into the cargo bay. Ronan grabbed his emergency kit and headed down, pulse quickening with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. The craft was even more beautiful up close. Patterns of light danced across its surface, responding to his proximity. No visible entry points presented themselves, no hatches, no seams, nothing resembling a door. Hello? Ronan called out, feeling slightly foolish. Can you hear me in there? I'm Captain Ronan Foster of the salvage vessel Phoenix. I'm here to help. To his astonishment, the entire side of the craft suddenly liquefied, the solid surface transforming into a shimmering curtain of what looked like liquid metal. Through this impossible doorway stepped a woman, or at least, a being with a woman-like form. Her skin was pale lavender, with subtle luminescent patterns tracing her cheekbones and forehead. Her eyes were entirely silver, without visible pupils, yet somehow conveying sharp intelligence. Her hair, if it could be called that, appeared to be thousands of delicate filaments that shifted color like fiber optics, currently a deep midnight blue. She wore a close-fitting garment that seemed to be part of her skin, with the same flowing, organic quality as her vessel. I am Lieutenant Nalara, Navigation Sentinel of the Lyrellian 4th Fleet, she said, her voice melodic and precise. Your assistance was unexpected. Ronan found himself temporarily speechless, a rare occurrence. He'd encountered dozens of alien species during his career, but nothing quite like her. Your craft was damaged, he finally managed. I couldn't leave you drifting. Nalara tilted her head, the movement unnaturally fluid. The damage was significant. My beacon was active for 27 solar cycles. You are the first to respond. Well, this region isn't exactly crowded, Ronan replied, regaining his composure. What happened? What brought a Lyrellian this far from the nebula? That information is classified, she stated flatly. Then, surprisingly, her expression softened. But I acknowledge the debt of life. You have preserved my existence when others would not. Don't mention it, Ronan said with a shrug. Standard salvage protocol. Anyone would have done the same. No, Nilara said with unexpected intensity. They would not. And now our fates are intertwined. Intertwined? Ronan echoed, a sense of unease creeping up his spine. Look, I'm happy to take you to the nearest diplomatic outpost. The life debt has been initiated, Nilara interrupted, placing her hand over her chest in what seemed like a formal gesture. By the ancient laws of my people, we are now bound. The Cosmic Sentinel will arrive within 48 hours to formalize our connection. As Ronan opened his mouth to protest, alarms blared throughout the Phoenix. Captain, Artemis announced, a large vessel has just emerged from hyperspace. It's on an intercept course. Ronan's salvage instincts shifted immediately to survival mode. Artemis, battle stations. Prepare for. Do not be alarmed, Nilara said calmly. It is merely the advance scout. The Council has responded more quickly than anticipated. Her silver eyes fixed on him with unsettling intensity. It seems they are most interested in meeting the human who has bonded with a Lyrellian navigation sentinel. Ronan Foster, veteran salvager and self-proclaimed loner, stared at the alien woman and the approaching ship. Somehow, he suspected that this salvage job had just become the most complicated, and dangerous, of his entire career. The massive scout vessel loomed outside the Phoenix's viewports, dwarfing Ronan's salvage ship like a whale beside a minnow. Its surface rippled with the same living metal quality as Nilara's escape pod, but on a vastly larger scale. Veins of luminescent energy pulsed across its hull in mesmerizing patterns. That's your advanced scout? Ronan asked incredulously. It's bigger than a Federation dreadnought. The Astral Harbinger is one of our smaller vessels, Nilara replied, seemingly oblivious to his concern. She was studying the ship's approach with what appeared to be relief. Commander Jaxel is sensible. He will understand our situation. Our situation? There is no our situation, Ronan protested, running a hand through his disheveled hair. I rescued you. End of story. No offense, but I'm not interested in being bonded or whatever your people call it. Nilara turned to him, her silver eyes reflecting the emergency lights of his cargo bay. Captain Foster, I understand this is unexpected, but the life debt is not a trivial matter. When a Lyrellian's life essence is preserved by another, a cosmic bond forms that transcends ordinary relationships. Look, I appreciate that you're grateful, but... The Phoenix shuddered as a beam of soft blue light enveloped the ship. Captain, Artemis announced, we're being pulled into a docking bay. All systems are responding normally, but I cannot override the tractor beam. Ronan cursed under his breath. Can we at least communicate with them? Before Artemis could respond, a holographic projection materialized in the center of the cargo bay. A tall Lyrellian male appeared, his skin a deeper shade of purple than Nilara's, with more pronounced luminescent markings. His fiber-optic hair was pulled back tightly, glowing a stern crimson. Lieutenant Nilara, your disappearance caused significant concern, the figure stated without preamble. His silver eyes shifted to Ronan. This is the human who initiated the life debt? Commander Jaxel, Nilara acknowledged with a formal gesture. Yes, Captain Ronan Foster recovered my damaged vessel and preserved my existence. Jaxel's expression remained unreadable. The Stellar Council has been notified. This is unprecedented. Now hold on just a minute, Ronan interjected, stepping forward. I don't know what kind of customs you people have, but where I come from, rescuing someone doesn't mean we're suddenly cosmically married or whatever. No disrespect intended. Commander Jaxel regarded him coolly. Human perception is irrelevant to cosmic law, Captain Foster. The life debt exists independent of your understanding or acceptance of it. That's convenient, Ronan muttered. Your vessel will be secured aboard the Harbinger, Jaxel continued. Lieutenant Nilara will brief you on appropriate protocol before the Council communication. I suggest you prepare yourself accordingly. The hologram disappeared without further comment. Ronan turned to Nalara, not bothering to hide his frustration. So I'm being kidnapped because I helped you? That's how your people show gratitude? You are not being kidnapped, Nalara replied, a hint of offense in her voice. You are being honored. The life debt is our most sacred bond. Throughout our history, only 17 non-Lyrellians have ever been granted such a connection. And what happened to them? Ronan asked warily. Nalara hesitated. Their experiences varied. Some chose to live among our people. Others maintained distance relationships. A few rejected the bond entirely. And those who rejected it were considered cosmically diminished. Her voice softened. Captain Foster, I did not intend for this to happen. My mission was classified, my presence in this sector unauthorized. The life debt has complicated matters significantly. Ronan felt his anger deflating slightly. Whatever was happening wasn't Nalara's fault, not really. He'd made the choice to investigate the distress signal. The Phoenix shuddered again as it was drawn fully into the larger vessel's docking bay. Through the viewports, Ronan could see the cavernous space, illuminated by the same bioluminescent light that seemed to be the Lyrellian aesthetic standard. I need to understand what I'm walking into, he said finally. What exactly does this life debt entail? What will your council expect from me? Nalara's expression became serious. The life debt is a recognition that our life paths are now intertwined. The universe has connected us through the act of preservation. The council will want to evaluate the nature of this connection. Evaluate how? Through the resonance trial, she explained. It is a ritual that reveals the cosmic harmony between bonded individuals. The results determine the appropriate expression of the life debt. And if there is no cosmic harmony? Ronan asked. There always is, Nalara stated with absolute certainty. Though it manifests differently for each pair. Some bonds are protective, others intellectual, some deeply personal. The implication hung in the air between them. Ronan cleared his throat uncomfortably. And I have no say in this process. You have considerable say in how the bond is expressed, Nalara corrected. But not in whether it exists. That was determined the moment you preserved my life essence. A gentle vibration indicated they had been secured in the docking bay. External atmosphere readings appeared on Ronan's console. Great, he sighed. So I'm about to meet a council of advanced aliens who believe I'm mystically bonded to one of their officers, undergo some kind of psychic compatibility test, and then negotiate the terms of a relationship I never agreed to in the first place. An accurate summary, Nalara confirmed, missing or ignoring his sarcasm. Then, surprisingly, she placed a hand lightly on his arm. Her touch was warmer than he expected, sending an odd tingling sensation up to his shoulder. Captain Foster, I understand your reluctance. But among my people, the life debt is considered the greatest blessing one can receive. It is a recognition that the universe itself has acknowledged a profound connection between souls. Ronan looked down at her hand, then into her silver eyes. Despite their alienness, he could read sincerity there, and perhaps a touch of vulnerability. Call me Ronan, he said finally. If we're going to be cosmically bonded or whatever, we might as well be on a first-name basis. For the first time, Nalara's lips curved into what appeared to be a genuine smile. Ronan, she repeated, the word sounding musical in her voice. Then you must call me Nalara, without rank or title. The external doors of the Phoenix began to open, revealing a contingent of Lyrellian officials waiting in formal formation. Ready or not, Ronan muttered, straightening his worn salvager's jacket, let's go face the music. The interior of the Astral Harbinger was unlike any spacecraft Ronan had ever boarded. Instead of the utilitarian corridors he was accustomed to, they walked through passageways that seemed almost organic. The walls pulsed with subtle light, responding to their presence as they passed. The floor beneath his boots felt slightly yielding, yet perfectly supportive. "Your technology is remarkable," Ronan admitted as they were escorted by 4 silent Lyrelian guards. Their ceremonial armor appeared to be composed of the same living metal as their ships, shifting and flowing with each movement. "What you perceive as technology, we understand as harmony with cosmic elements," Nilara explained. "We do not build our vessels so much as grow them from stellar matter." They entered a vast chamber that reminded Ronan of an amphitheater. At its center floated a circular platform, suspended with no visible means of support. Above it, a massive viewing portal revealed the stars beyond, though Ronan suspected it was more than a simple window. "The Council will communicate from the homeworld through the stellar conduit," Nilara said, gesturing toward the portal. "It is rare for them to convene for a single life debt ceremony." "Lucky me," Ronan muttered. Commander Jaxel approached, his crimson hair now shifted to a formal deep blue. "The conduit is aligning. The human should prepare for cosmic scrutiny." "The human has a name," Ronan retorted. "And cosmic scrutiny wasn't on my agenda when I woke up this morning." Jaxel's expression remained impassive. "Few are prepared for destiny when it arrives, Captain Foster." Before Ronan could respond with something appropriately sarcastic, the viewing portal above them flared with brilliant light. The stars visible through it seemed to bend and flow, coalescing into 5 distinct patterns. Each pattern gradually resolved into a face, aged, dignified Lyrelian faces whose silver eyes somehow conveyed both ancient wisdom and cold calculation. "The Stellar Council acknowledges this convergence," announced the central figure, her voice resonating not just in the chamber but seemingly within Ronan's mind. "We observe the life debt between Lieutenant Nilara of the 4th Fleet and Captain Ronan Foster of the Human Territories." Nilara stepped forward and performed an elaborate gesture, her hands weaving patterns in the air that left traces of light. "High Admiral Zenthos, honored council, I stand before you undiminished because of this human's intervention." The leftmost face, belonging to a Lyrelian with geometric markings across his forehead, spoke next. "The circumstances are irregular. Your mission was unauthorized, Lieutenant. The debt complicates matters significantly." "With respect, Elder Voxen," Nilara replied, "the cosmic laws cannot differentiate between authorized and unauthorized preservation. The life debt exists regardless of circumstance." Ronan cleared his throat. "If I might interject." "The human speaks," observed another council member, her tone suggesting this was roughly equivalent to a chair suddenly developing opinions. "Yes, the human speaks," Ronan confirmed, stepping forward. "And the human would like to understand exactly what's happening here. I rescued Lieutenant Nilara because it was the right thing to do. Where I come from, that doesn't automatically create some mystical bond." High Admiral Zenthos regarded him with an unblinking gaze. "Your cultural limitations do not invalidate cosmic truths, Captain Foster. The life debt is not a contract or agreement, it is a recognition of what already exists between your essence and Lieutenant Nilara's." "Our essences were complete strangers until yesterday," Ronan pointed out. "Time is irrelevant to cosmic alignment," Elder Voxen stated. "Some souls recognize their counterparts instantly." Nilara turned slightly toward Ronan. "The Council must determine the nature of our bond through the resonance trial. It is non-negotiable." Commander Jaxel stepped forward, holding what appeared to be a crystalline orb that glowed with inner light. "The resonance sphere is prepared. The human must submit to evaluation." "And if I refuse?" Ronan asked, though he suspected he already knew the answer. "Then you deny cosmic truth," High Admiral Zenthos replied. "Such denial creates disharmony that echoes throughout existence. For the protection of all, such disharmony must be contained." "Contained," Ronan repeated flatly. "Meaning what exactly?" Nilara's voice lowered. "Those who reject established life debts are kept in solitary reflection chambers until they acknowledge the bond. So I'm being threatened with imprisonment if I don't participate in your ritual? It is not imprisonment, Elder Voxen corrected. It is realignment. Ronan looked at Nilara, whose silver eyes revealed genuine concern. Then he glanced at the floating resonance sphere in Commander Jaxel's hands, its light pulsing in a pattern that seemed oddly familiar, almost like a heartbeat. His heartbeat. Fine, he said finally. Let's get this over with. What do I need to do? High Admiral Zenthos nodded approvingly. The resonance trial will begin at the next stellar alignment. Commander Jaxel will prepare you both. The 5 faces began to fade. Remember, Captain Foster, the trial does not create truth. It merely reveals it. As the council disappeared and the viewing portal returned to its normal state, Ronan turned to Nilara. Is it too late to mention I have a strict policy against mysterious alien rituals? For the second time, Nilara's lips curved into that subtle smile. Unfortunately for both of us, Captain, I believe that policy was voided the moment you decided to rescue me. The preparation chamber was sparse, illuminated by soft ambient light that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves. Ronan sat cross-legged on a circular platform, trying and failing to meditate as Commander Jaxel had instructed. This is ridiculous, he muttered, opening one eye to find Nilara watching him from across the chamber. She sat in perfect stillness, her luminescent markings glowing more intensely than before. Your mind is turbulent, she observed. The resonance sphere responds better to calm. Easy for you to say. You've trained for this sort of thing. Ronan shifted uncomfortably. Where I come from, we don't typically have our souls probed by mysterious glowing orbs. The sphere does not probe. It merely reflects what already exists between us. Nilara rose with fluid grace and approached him. May I assist? Ronan shrugged. At this point, why not? She knelt before him and, without warning, placed her palms gently against his temples. The contact sent an immediate wave of warmth through his body, followed by a curious lightness in his thoughts. Your species experiences existence as separate from the cosmos, Nilara said softly. We understand that all consciousness is connected, flowing through the same universal current. The resonance trial simply makes this connection visible. Under her touch, Ronan found his breathing slowing, his mind gradually clearing. There was something intimate about the contact that should have made him uncomfortable, but instead felt strangely familiar. How long have you been a navigation sentinel? He asked, partly to distract himself from the unusual sensation. 217 cycles, she replied. Though in your years, that translates to approximately 43. Ronan's eyes widened. You're 43 years old? You look. Well, not that. A ghost of amusement crossed her features. Lyrelians experience time differently than humans. Our physical forms evolve gradually, remaining in optimal condition for centuries. Before Ronan could respond, Commander Jaxel entered, carrying the resonance sphere. Its glow had intensified, pulsing now with dual rhythms that somehow synchronized despite their different patterns. The alignment approaches, Jaxel announced. You will both enter the chamber of reflection now. Nilara withdrew her hands from Ronan's temples, leaving a lingering warmth. Remember, she whispered, the trial reveals truth. Do not resist what you see. They were escorted to another chamber, this one entirely spherical. As they entered, the entrance sealed behind them, the wall flowing shut like water. The entire room began to glow, constellations appearing on every surface as though they were standing in the center of the universe itself. Commander Jaxel's voice came from everywhere and nowhere. The resonance sphere will be introduced. You will both place your dominant hands upon it simultaneously. What follows is unique to each life-debt pair. Do not attempt to control the experience. A pedestal rose from the floor, and the resonance sphere descended from above to rest upon it, pulsing more rapidly now. Ready? Ronan asked, looking at Nalara. One does not prepare for cosmic revelation, she replied, though he detected a hint of nervousness beneath her formal tone. One simply experiences it. Together, they reached out and placed their hands on the sphere. The world dissolved. Ronan felt himself expanding beyond his physical form, his consciousness stretching outward like ripples in a pond. Stars rushed past him, galaxies spiraled beneath him, and through it all, he sensed Nalara's presence, not as a separate entity, but as an extension of the same cosmic energy that he now recognized within himself. Images flashed through his awareness, Nalara as a child, learning to navigate by starlight, himself as a young man, fleeing the structured paths others had chosen for him, Nalara standing before the Stellar Council, volunteering for a dangerous mission, Ronan drifting alone through space, searching for something he couldn't name. Their parallel lives unfolded simultaneously, revealing patterns of similarity he never could have imagined. Both seekers. Both rebels in their own way. Both profoundly alone despite their connections to others. And then he saw what she had been doing when her vessel was damaged, infiltrating a restricted zone to investigate anomalous energy readings that threatened not just Lyrelian space but all life in the sector. Her mission had been unauthorized because the Stellar Council had deemed the risk too great for investigation. She had gone anyway, believing that one life risked was worth countless saved. Just as he would have done. The vision shifted, showing possible futures branching out before them, paths where they parted ways, never to meet again, paths where they remained connected across distance, paths where they journeyed together, their complementary skills creating something greater than either could achieve alone. In each potential future, their bond remained, sometimes strained, sometimes strengthened, but always present. The cosmic truth the Council had spoken of. As suddenly as it had begun, the vision ended. Ronan found himself on his knees, one hand still on the sphere, the other gripping Nalara's wrist. Her silver eyes were wide, her breathing unsteady. "You saw?" she whispered. "Everything," he confirmed, his voice hoarse. "Your mission. The danger. Why you were there." Commander Jaxel's voice returned, "The resonance trial is complete. The nature of your life debt has been revealed." The chamber door reappeared and opened. Standing in the doorway was High Admiral Zenthos herself, no longer a projection but physically present, her ancient eyes studying them with newfound interest. "Most illuminating," she said. "The Council will deliberate immediately."